Hey, you know what it is, the round table, man. It's the voice of the culture. I'm back again. And this afternoon I'm sitting with a very special person. Like she's just, I don't know, she's a runner in a great way. She's for the culture. She's been for the culture for years. I'm sitting here with Miss Bridget, aka the Jersey Queen. And I'm gonna let her give you a little small insight of who she is before we lock into this video and this episode. But first and foremost, welcome to the round table, B.
I thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for finally catching up with you. Because like I said, you've been on a marathon.
Yeah, no, I stay busy, but it's better busy than bored, so.
Yeah, well, that's good too. Let the people that don't really know who you are and what you do, just give them a small insight of who you are, though.
Yeah, no, I call myself Jersey Queen, the Jersey plug. I do real estate. I also am the founder of We Are Jersey alongside Daniel Banks. And I just like to connect people and connect life.
So, just to start this really thing off, what was the driven passion for We Are Jersey? Like, where did that start at? Like,
All right, so for the people who don't know, I'm originally from Washington Township. I'm from Bergen County.
okay,
My business partner, he is from Saddlebrook, and we met through mutual friends, and we saw a problem, which was being from Bergen County and the area that I was from, Washington Township and Westwood. It was very difficult for people that were minorities to have fun in one area without them considering it being a problem or thinking there's a fight or thinking there's drugs or
right.
thinking the worst of us. We came together, we started throwing events. It started technically in high school, for me, technically. I was president of FBLA at Westwood High School for 2 years. I had a close friend who got into, I would say, an accident. He was a hit and run accident from his neighbor, and he was pronounced dead on the scene, but he ended up being alive, and he went through all kinds of rehabs and relearning how to walk and live again and all
Right,
that.
rehabilitation steps.
Exactly. And one of the ways that I helped fundraise money for his family to be able to afford the expenses was through FBLA, where I was the president, and through dances or events and homecomings to donate money to his family.
Through the school.
Yep.
Now, how was the school feeling about this, though? Were they supportive in the beginning?
Oh, they were not supportive.
Okay, that's why I asked.
They told me I shouldn't do that. I'm not a nonprofit. They gave me all kinds of issues, and at the end of the day, I still got him his money. The school took a picture with me and a check to put in the newspaper, even though they weren't.
To make it look good.
To make it look good, but they weren't with it. They weren't with helping people in that way.
Now let me ask you this: Why do you think that, though? At the time, he was a high school student as well.
Yes.
From that town. Unfortunate situation. Why you think the lack of the support of the school system was not behind you guys? Was it minority? Is it because was he black or white?
He was Spanish.
Oh, okay.
He was Spanish. And he was really smart. He's a very smart kid, honors AP classes, very young. And he was in my grade being young too. So like, to me, it didn't make sense, but I do think maybe that was probably a portion of the reason for it.
Okay.
Also for them not being involved in it, which is where they couldn't monitor and put their hands on it, probably
Right.
is another thing too, you know?
That's really weird because you would think that the school would be behind it, but at the end of the day, look what they do. We're not chasing. We're not rooting for you, but the fact that you scored major points and made everything happen. Hey, let's take the picture with you. How was that for you mentally? Like, yo, you really are full of shit. Like, really, that's what it is, though. If you think about it, you know what I'm saying?
No, it definitely was. It definitely felt like a smack in the face. But I started to remember, I had to remind myself again also, the bigger picture being that the purpose of this and the goal was to get the money and give it to his family so that they could struggle less when it comes to taking care of getting him back to normal.
Right.
My business partner at the time, Daniel Banks, he was a DJ, so he would DJ these events. All these events, even though we were minorities, it was a mixed crowd. We had a little bit of everybody there.
Okay.
So it wasn't ever something where people really should assume, I guess, that it's going to be a bad scenario because there's too many people in one area, because I don't really live that kind of life. I'm like, to be honest, I'm from Washington Township. Again, like, it's not that kind of area.
Right.
So those assumptions kind of just were smack in the faces every single time it happened to me.
Wow. And what year was this?
Oof. I'm gonna say like 2009, 2010. I was like in ninth going into 10th when that situation happened originally.
Now, for the rest of the course of your high school year, how was things with you in the school?
Um,
Was it mixed emotions? Were they understanding who you are, what you stood for? Or was it still that, okay, we took the picture now, go your way and I'm gonna go my way?
it was a mixture of both. We definitely went our separate ways. I wasn't in love with the admin at that time, but at the same time, I don't think they were ever used to somebody like me because I'm not a loud person. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do, and that's it.
Well, they said, the loudest person in the crowd is the most softest too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the reality. The one who talks all the shit be the one that gets wound up getting knocked out.
That does happen too.
I mean, that's just the business. That's just life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're gonna move a little further. Now you toward your senior year in high school.
Yeah.
Where's your creative thoughts? What's your plan? What's your goal? Okay, now I'm about to get out of here.
Well, dang, I guess I would say at that time I was more so. I knew I enjoyed what I was doing by being president of FBLA, having the ability to turn things that were of need into events, and then also giving people that spotlight.
Right.
I would say when I graduated high school, like I just kind of stopped there, and I was like, I used to do that in high school, but I kind of missed it. It became a part of me, and the ability to use a situation where you can allow people to engage or network or have fun in a safe environment, and then create those relationships. I didn't have that since I just stopped, cold turkey. But me and my business partner ended up pretty much reinventing our idea and started doing it at halls and VFWs locally in Bergen County.
Okay.
And that's really how we emerged into We Are Jersey Magazine. A lot of the people that we encountered would ask us to perform or have the microphone and be able to talk. And we never understood why they were asking us because, we're not Hot 97, we're not Power 105, we're just regular people.
But you're the culture, though. You're giving them an opportunity that they can't get to Hot 97 and all these other places.
You're right, but we didn't see it like that.
Okay.
We just saw it as we're regular people. Like, why are they asking us at all? Anybody you could ask, you guys asked us, So for us, that's where we started to transition after high school. And then college came where he was in college and I was just starting college because he's a little bit older than me.
Right.
And he was the gift of gab. Banks was always the gift of gab. He was always talking to people, always in clubs, always knew, school clubs and regular clubs because he was a DJ, but he always just knew how to talk to every age group or every type of person or individual he came across. So we started to build upon that to formulate the magazine into what it is today.
Right.
Regardless if it's spotlighting entrepreneurs, music artists, people in sports like athletes. So, we honestly just tried to find ways to connect everybody, and it just grew into this.
It worked.
Yeah.
It really worked. And people fail to realize this too for the culture that don't may not understand it. We always seem to go further from where we came from.
Yeah.
And I believe this is my personal opinion. You've been in this game longer than, I believe home base is where the heart is at. You take care of home. And then you gradually bring everybody from home, you take them with you to the next trip. Yeah. And now everybody's growing together as one. Because a lot of people that, and you probably have never even left the local area.
Yeah.
And some of them are scared.
It's true.
And don't know how to, what's the proper word? Act. Like you be so comfortable at home that once you get what I'm gonna do? Oh, you're an artist. You know what I mean? You're sitting there beating me in the head every day while we here, but now we out of bounds. I call it out of bounds. You don't act like you lost. You know what I mean? So with that journey being said, sometimes you gotta coach people. You gotta give people that encouragement. And I'm quite sure with the magazine, just think about it right before we spoke, before the cameras got on, how many people you came in contact with that you motivated, inspired, uplift. Like you said, they're here today. And then that's got to be like something that you can take to heart because me personally, I'm very competitive. I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And losing sometimes is just saying, I don't want to do it. Now, with the magazine, how many times you and your partner, I don't want to do this. It's not working. It's not moving in the format that it needs. But you consistently keep reinventing.
Right. Yeah. It's very much true.
So with the magazine, my question is, how many times you really think you had to reinvent yourself mentally to be able to let the magazine be where it's at today?
How many times mentally? Pretty often. I would say often, especially being that, we still have print. We have print copies of our magazine. And, a lot of people are into digital everything. So they don't, depending on the type of person you are, if you're new school, old school, you might find value in it or you might not. You know what I mean? Same thing with different platforms that are just digital everything. They don't give anything that's, physically that you could put in your hand and you could touch, and, sometimes you're competing against bigger companies that, they're going to have the funds to do that. But like for us, like there's so many different signs from the universe that at least I receive, and I'm sure for banks too, that we see where we're going and we see the impact that we make. So we know no matter what, at the end of the day, the value is in it. And people see that. And when people tell us, we could feel that.
Right.
And it's a great reminder for us, because sometimes when we don't feel it or we don't see it,
we get lost and we start to doubt the situation. Are we making it right? Are we moving in the right direction? Or should I continue to keep going? Now with the magazine, that had to be somewhat of an upscale battle, because you know the era, the write-ons,
yeah.
the vibes, the sources. Remember the Blaze. You had all these, well, at the time, we already know the source was the king of it all.
Right.
To do a magazine with all of that, you had the big wigs. That wasn't like, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should try another avenue.
For us, not necessarily, because I mean, I know a lot of people mention those names, but we don't want to be them. What they're doing is not what we're trying to do. They might have a bunch of placements of miscellaneous artists on the cover that's just, I don't know how they get on the cover sometimes. You know what I mean? But for us, like, we're looking at your merit, we're looking at your message, we're looking at what your consistency and what your bigger picture and what you're trying to do for you to be considered with working with us. Now, if you're like, let's say, a new artist and, you got a lot of work to do, then sometimes you got a lot of work to do, because we want everybody who's in our magazine issues to be somebody that people could read through the issue, look down further down the line 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and see what they're doing, and be like, oh, I understand why they were inside here. Versus, oh, they just paid to get in here.
Because I was going to ask you that, because I'm quite sure a lot of people have came to you guys sideways too and just needed a place to be featured.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a different, and I want to say we're in a different time period where people don't understand like the true value of, like, of course, being featured, but networking overall. Because at the end of the day, like, you could be featured, but did you build a relationship? Did you try to build a relationship with everybody else who's in the magazine, the same issue as you? Did you, like, what did you do after that? Did you just say like, oh, here?
Well, truthfully, let's be honest. Some people just want to be seen and heard.
Yeah.
Just because. They're not thinking about, okay, I want to take this to the next level. It's like, I just want to be here and say this is what I did.
Yeah.
For those individuals, you and I both come across, I feel like they're wasted time individuals.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because you're fighting for a different cause, but they're just fighting for the cause. This is why I'm here today.
Yes.
It's no tomorrow. It's no what's going on 5 years. It's just today. And, people get, okay, I'm doing this. What happened? I thought you were doing it. Oh, well, I don't know, because I'm still doing the same thing that I was doing and some more between that time.
Yeah.
So with that being said, having a magazine, dealing with every different mentalities, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Because, everybody think they know everything. And you and Banks got a vision. So your vision may not be their vision. How is that working with individuals with the egos?
With the egos.
Local egos, excuse me. Locals.
The local egos. They exist. I'll tell you, they very much do exist. But I guess maybe because of the type of person I am, I kind of will calmly redirect them, hopefully into a direction that they understand where I'm coming from when I say, like, maybe you should go this route or go this route and do this route. Like, you know what I mean? Because certain times people do approach us with egos and certain things that don't matter, but you got to remind them like certain things that they're talking about is just noise. It has nothing to do with
Just talking, just to be talking.
yeah, and it honestly it won't matter in 10 years. It won't matter then. You know, you gotta really put yourself in a position to look back at yourself where you, even though you're looking at yourself from the future, to be able to look back at yourself and reflect and be like, okay, this was how I pivoted forward, or you know, or how I did this. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're talking about a bunch of other stuff, like that's not our bigger picture and that's not what we focus on. Because some people do try to come and they want to talk about the drama, but that's not our platform. Like they didn't do the research. They didn't, you know what I mean? We're not that.
Quick buzz, microwave.
Yeah.
Turn it on, turn it off. We hot, then it gets warm, then it gets back hot again. How do we figure this out? Nah, you need to figure out what your calling is and stop playing games.
Yeah. Because we can't do that for you. And if you want us to put you in a positive light, you got to at least be able to see yourself in a positive light. Not in the light of the drama and all this other stuff. Like, what do you want, if you're going to have kids in 5-10 years, what do you want them to see that you did out of this? What do you want your kids to get out of what you said or what you're doing?
What about the kids that you have now that's paying attention to you?
That too.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of people forget who they are and what's really going on and try to make it bigger than what it really is. And sometimes that shit right there is corny.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. If I can't be proud of it to show my family or the people that look up to me or care about me the most, then what does it do for me? It might be cool for me to say certain stuff about guns and all this other stuff to my peers maybe, but really that's not cool. Like all the people who are trying to be forward thinkers, they're not going to see the value in that.
No value in that, personally. Honestly, it's just a bunch of hoopla because you trying to just fit in.
Right.
Especially when your peers know who you are.
That too.
Your family knows, like, you fooling who you fooling. You fooling people that don't know you, but the people that know you, like, yo, that's not even who you are or what you represent. How many years has it been for the magazine?
Oh, since 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be 10 years in September. We just celebrated our 9 year.
That's congratulations, first and foremost.
Thank you.
Because a lot of things don't even last 2 years.
Very true.
You know what I mean? Ideas don't even go that far. And that was an idea.
Yeah.
And it went this far and it's still rolling. So those that may not know it, where can they find the magazine at?
WAJmagazine.com.
Okay, let them know again, please.
WAJmagazine.com, or you can just Google We Are Jersey. We'll come up everywhere.
That's what's up. Now we're going to jump into another part of your lifestyle that you're doing. That was just one small segment. She's also a realtor.
Yeah, real estate agent by day.
How many years have you been in the game?
3 years now.
Okay. What made you decide to jump into that lane?
Oh, man. I joined real estate. I know a lot of people talk about real estate for like, oh, it's great for money and all that. But
Right.
In 2019, I lost my mom.
Okay.
I have an older brother. He's slightly older than me. Well, he's married and has his kids, so like he has his own life. So when she passed away, of course it was a surprise. It wasn't anything that we knew that was going to come. He had to sell the house.
Okay.
Now, selling the house, I learned a lot about probate. I learned a lot about when you pass away and like you have to like pay and prove that you're the person's kid, even though you have the same last name. You can hold a picture next to each other. They're going to tax you just because it was unannounced. So for me, when it came to real estate, like I started to learn at that time because I was on a time clock, I'll say, per se, because you got to pay the mortgage, you got to sell the
Taxes,
house,
everything's going.
Everything's going, nothing stops, So I wanted to, one, learn how to increase the value really quickly. So me, Q on my team, Banks, some others that I had around at the time. I was pressure washing the house. I was cleaning mold out the basement.
You got dirty. You got your hands dirty.
I did. I had to get my hands dirty. And then we sold the house, and I saw how selling one house could change your entire life. And for people who get in the same position that I was in, I want them to do better than me, because one house, of course, can change your life, and you could do so much with the money from real estate, but also being unprepared of having to go through that kind of transaction. Like, there's a lot of obstacles, the state get involved, like it's a lot. So I'd want people who have the opportunity to buy a home to prepare themselves in a smart way so that they don't have to go through what I went through.
Right.
And that's why I joined real estate.
Okay. But it also kind of was like maybe your calling because you're a people person.
I became a people person.
I mean, you're doing it since high school. You've been standing in front of everybody, you've been holding down the frontier in front of everybody. So it kind of like, it seems like to me, talking to you just naturally, it kind of like, it was like, okay, I'm not going to just let this happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it puts you in a position to say, you know what, I might as well learn the business. I'm going through it. Why not learn the business?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Was it you starting to do that? You going through the situation with the house and everything. Did you really think, now I'm being honest about this question, being black in that business, in that world, do you see any type of shade? Any type of, you don't know, or any type of nonsense, backdoor bullshit?
I don't mean to laugh like that to the question, but
Nah.
no, it's just yeah. Technically, you do, but like I know for when it comes to like my life story, like yes, I went through that with the with the house, but also I was working a job that was like a competitor of Airbnb for back at that time, I'll say, right?
Okay.
And my bosses at that time, they hated agents. They hated agents so much because they make people pay for premium on the site and it costs like a coffee K-cup to them in their head, And, when I randomly quit, they didn't expect me to quit, but they didn't expect me to become an agent either. And honestly, one of my...
But they hated the agents.
They hated the agents, but they didn't hate the agents for the right reasons, in my opinion. And that's just across the board. That's just because of people don't understand how real estate works.
Okay.
And how real estate agents make their income. Also on top of that, agents make their income at closing. So for them, they had a problem with agents being on their site. So I had to reprogram myself to understand the value in having a real estate agent and that they're not bad people. But also I had to reprogram myself in the person that I am because being a real estate agent is not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy.
Right.
And those are two different things. And people don't really understand that because it's still very much a hard job. It's definitely very stressful. Like there's so many things that you encounter and problems that you go through. So when it comes to being a real estate agent, there are still the obstacles of being a woman or being a person of color. But that's why if you do encounter people like that, you really should try to understand or try to at least ensure that they ethically are what you're looking for when it comes to working with them.
Right.
But at the same time, they're here to help you change your life and then pass it on to your people. And if they're giving you that value, hold on to that and actually use it because that's how other people are changing their lives.
Right.
So.
But everybody don't want to also just sit back and get so much involved. You know what I mean? You got those, my pops calls them lazy thinkers.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, kind of leave everything up to you and I'm just going to, but I feel like what you're bringing to the table is I'm also bringing you education as we're doing this. Mm-hmm. Educating you for the future. Because at the end of the day, well, the house will get sold. You know what I mean? You're gonna something's gonna happen. Nothing's forever. That's what I always say. Nothing's forever. So it's a transformation, a situation. So to have that education, that knowledge that, hey, Bridget taught me this. Now I can take this over here when I decide to go do this.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't want to have that mentality. People just, okay, I need you to do what you do. This is what I pay you to do. So just do it. Now, sometimes that has to be a little bit of more of a challenging experience as well, because now we're going to just put this whole backpack on you and bring us to the finish line.
That exists. That does happen too, But at the same time, I guess you gotta have to adjust depending on who you're working with. Me, at the end of the day, I like to be transparent. So anybody who's gonna be a client or come into my life with anything, regardless of We Are Jersey or real estate,
right? Which
real estate actually really helped me as a businesswoman with We Are Jersey as well.
So I asked you that too.
So you already knew it was coming because those are different skills, and I do have to switch accordingly. But however, it helps me with people and understanding people's situations, also understanding the trauma between people And that's, music, you could hear the trauma and stuff, but real estate, when it comes to decision making, you can see the trauma differently. So it's like, it really helped me a lot. It helped me grow, and it definitely made me more personable as a people person. I was always a people person, but I was in the background for many years because that's what I just happened to prefer at the time. But now,
You on Front Street.
I'm on Front Street. Yeah.
And you can't get away from it because you're the face.
Now I am, right? Yeah.
I mean, hey, every time I look up, I see you. You know what I mean? I see you. You know what I mean? I didn't know you're a one woman team. You know what I mean? But it looks like that.
Yeah, it looks like
like that.
I have great people behind me. I got Amber, I got Adrian, I got Banks, I got a bunch of people on my team behind me. Q, especially. So like, when it comes to my team, I have an amazing team. I just be busy, so you're not gonna see me physically as much because my phone rings for a client who needs a house. I'm picking up. If a seller needs me, I'm picking up too.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
It's not a trick question. Me and my partner have these conversations from time to time. How important is it to you to have the right people around you?
Oh, beyond important. I would say that was probably one of my biggest life lessons. Like, if I've many of times had the wrong people around me, and then I would lose opportunities, I'll lose friendships, I'll lose a lot of things for being around the wrong people. It's not worth it. I would say that being around the right people is what changed my life for the better. I used to have a very hard time saying no. I used to struggle with that all the time, saying no, being mean, things like that.
But I believe in your world and in reality, sometimes you have to put your foot down. You have to show a sense of strength. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Being a yes person all the time you can be opening the doors for a lot of people that lazy thinkers and waste timers. Mm-hmm. Because we always want to help. Like me personally, sometimes I take the opportunity, I'm always willing to help, but I also take the opportunity to sit and talk to a person.
Yeah.
And then it makes me, okay, I don't really need to help that person. I know what you know what I mean? Okay, that's what you're doing? Okay, nothing wrong. Good luck. But I'm not going to step across that line. Mm-hmm. And I believe having a good supporting team, but also a team that you can talk to, we can tell each other the truth. And no one, what the fuck? Who does she think she is? Who do you think he is? Yo, listen, if you can't tell me, listen, the shit you doing is not it, then I don't want to be around you.
Yeah.
Because I want to be told, hey, listen, that's not cool. You don't need to do that anymore. I want to be critiqued from my crew. I want to be told, we need to fix this. We need to change that. I want to be told that because at the end of the day, if you're telling me that means you love me. You care about the brand.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just want to be a part of something, but don't want to be a part of the brand. They just want to be, hey, I'm running around we are New Jersey. Yeah, but that's all you doing?
Yeah, that resonates because that definitely does happen. Sometimes, I mean, even myself, I've definitely, for if you don't know, I'm a Taurus. Okay. So we're known to be stubborn. And I've had a lot of stubbornness in my life within myself, within people around me and things like that. But I also had to reprogram that in my brain too. Like, this person loves me. That's why they're saying that. And also once you start to accept that and understand that, you learn to appreciate that. You appreciate it differently because people don't want to see you down and out or making stupid mistakes or...
Those that love you.
The people that love you, correct.
Then you got those that's rooting for you to sit back and say, yep, look at this idiot.
There's people who want you to fail,
And some of those people are right in our circle too.
Yeah, that's true. Very much true.
Because I'm quite sure in your garden, you had to take some weeds out.
Oh, yeah. I definitely did. And,
And it might have hurt. And you know what I mean? It might have been like you battling, like, I don't want to do it because that's my girl, that's my guy. But it's like, what's the goal?
Well, the goal is always, of course, to reach your highest self to the best you can, but also to love yourself to the fullest. And if you love yourself to the fullest, some people can't come with you. It's just what it is. You want them to come. You wish they could elevate with you. You wish that they could try on their end to become a better person, man or woman, whatever the case may be. But, in reality it's just everybody can't come with you.
And I'm quite sure in your journey, some fell by the wayside.
Yeah, and I'll miss them. I'll miss them dearly, but, I got to do this because this is my purpose.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes having the people around you that's not on the same page as you is stunting your growth.
Oh yeah, every time.
It's just, you know, you really, and you keep asking, well, why we can't get to the next level? Let's start looking around us.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know what I mean, because we making strides, we moving forward, but we can't get to the next level. It has to be a reason.
Yeah.
If I'm pushing forward, you're pushing forward, he's pushing forward, she's pushing forward, where we need to figure out why we can't, because first of all, we can do all things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm a very spiritual dude, so I believe you can do all things with Christ who strengthens you first and foremost.
Period.
We walk by faith and not by sight.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't have somebody that's always, yo, listen, like the Dow to Judas. Like, yo, you really think? Yo, my man, what do you mean? You don't believe in what I believe in?
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Team, family. So sometimes I say that, you know what I mean? Your team is your family.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because y'all share something that you and that person in your family don't share. Mm-hmm. That don't make them any different, you know what I mean? And you driving multiple vehicles, how do you separate the two? Because like you said, real estate during the day, we are in New Jersey at night, you always constantly moving and grooving. How do you find that balance for Bridget?
Honestly, I still find my times in between time, I'll say. It kind of depends on the season. Unfortunately, it's the winter season now, so it's holiday season. So I'm talking to a lot of people, catching up as well as planning for the new year and all that. But you know, after there's certain times when it does slow down, you know what I mean? And I get to just focus on me. On my spare time, I probably focus on spirituality the most.
Yeah.
Connecting the most. For me, I need to 100% always have that spirituality over everything in that sense. For people who do know, it's just me. Like my father passed away when I was in 8th grade. My mom passed away. So I have to stay connected. Mm. And I have to stay focused. That's another reason I don't stay around people who I would consider negative or speaking negative into the things that I'm trying to do, because it's only me and I got to do this for me. It's not up to anybody else. Nobody else's opinion really matters, truthfully, but...
Don't want to be disrespectful, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you know? Like, I know my path and my purpose, and if people have something to say about mine, they got to focus on theirs. They're not focused on theirs enough.
Right. I understand that completely. Because I a reason why I said that, because we've been trying to do this interview for almost a year and a half. And it's either my schedule, your schedule, you know, we keep, you know, everybody's doing what they doing, but I always see that you're busy. And I admire that.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? I really admire that. I really admire that. I see you always constantly, from the little, I don't believe for you, it's no such thing as a small thing. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna do this little thing. For you, it's not. I don't get that vibe. You know what I mean? It's always, okay, I'm doing this because I have a passion. I'm doing it because I want to be a part of it. I'm doing it because I see something in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And being a black woman, a strong black woman, intelligent black woman, moving, grooving, interacting with all ages, all brackets, all mentalities, I find that to be maybe at sometimes a little bit overwhelming once Bridget sits down. I don't know.
I mean, you know what it is? I think I'm becoming closer into that balance in my life where I now understand, like, okay, work, but there's definitely still gonna be playtime and, you know, certain time with the people that I love and I admire and cherish in my life. And now I'm getting better at that balance. I would say before I was a little harder with that.
It was more work.
Oh yeah, it definitely, it was something that took my mind away from all the things I've done and been through and all that.
Okay, I got you.
And now I'm at a point where, like, okay, I'm in my healing journey, but I'm also in the part of my path where when I see where I'm supposed to be very clearly. It's not foggy anymore.
It's not blurry. It's no, I don't know, maybe. It's more like I know.
Yeah, like I know 1,000%. I'm meant to connect people through real estate and media, connecting the community to culture and creatives. Because at the end of the day, we are Jersey, yes, with music and entrepreneurs. I could bring that to real estate still. Real estate, everybody listens to music. I helped one of my buyers buy their condo, then I went to their condo and I see they're doing their wedding in the condo, and I wasn't anticipating to be there with all this family and all these things and
Right.
connecting their people. Then I'm also connecting those same clients because they do artwork. They make amazing artwork. Another one makes amazing bags, fashion bags, and these are things all people need. Like everybody needs something,
You
and
literally might be the plug.
that's what I'm trying to be.
Now I'm starting to understand the Jersey Queen thing now.
Yes, you know what I mean? And I had to go up and down New Jersey for these homes or these events or connecting people and talking to different parts of life. And, some people don't realize how talented their neighbor is or people in their backyard is or people in their same county. And, through real estate and where Jersey, I can bring it all together.
And it definitely is it's a nice marriage. I'm gonna keep it honest. It's a very nice marriage. Once you broke it down in that form, it's a nice marriage because the people that you're selling homes to, you don't know what they're doing creatively. And then you also become a little bit more personal because now I'm trying to get you a situation, you know what I mean? So you definitely sharing stories and what you're doing. But one thing I love about you that I gotta admire, you're not doing it for $1.
No.
A lot of people, I'm chasing the bag. Of course you're not doing nothing for free. But the dollar's not your main goal.
Of course not. You know what I mean? Like, there's many a times I've been doing it for free. I'll do it broke, and I have, will and do. And as
Can
well
you say
as
that again though? Because a lot of people don't want to hear that.
say,
Do it broke, have, will, and gonna do it because that is your brand.
yeah. And at the end of the day, it's the bigger picture. It's really the bigger picture, and because we deal with corporations who don't care about us, why are we not doing this for ourselves?
A lot of people are scared to fail in front of everybody.
That's too much fear. You gotta let it go. You gotta go after something in your life.
Yeah, and I agree with you, but a lot of us are just scared. A lot of us in our community, and I'm gonna say this to you, you've been around, you've been up and down Jersey, so you've seen a lot of talent.
Yeah.
A lot of broken talent.
That too.
You know what I mean? Like, you as an individual that's very motivated, very driven. When you see somebody with so much talent but not putting the effort into it, does it drive you crazy? Because for me, it does. I feel like that's why I said broken talent. You know what I mean?
It definitely does drive me crazy. And that's why, what people don't understand from the magazine, because I was handpicking a lot of people before I had Amber on my team, who's my publicist, take over and handle majority of my handle, and I would always handpick talent, and I'd be very disappointed when a few years later down the line, they don't drop nothing, they just fall off, and it's just like, you had so much momentum, and then you stopped believing in yourself to the point that you stopped.
That's crazy that you said something very key in that. You stopped believing in yourself.
Because it's not about everybody else, it's about you.
But a lot of people want it to be about everybody else. I think a lot of individuals don't understand that. The journey is your journey. Some people want to be a journey to be a part of something.
Then join a community. Just make it simple. Just saying, you could join a community and still be with other people and do things, but don't come and claim it's your dream and that you want to do this and spend thousands and thousands of dollars and then you just give up. It's like, I'm done. And it's just like, you gave up on yourself.
So
what were you doing for it in the beginning? What was the
Right,
purpose?
Right. So we are our worst enemies, though.
We can be.
We can be.
I've been it. I've been it for myself.
Me too. That's why I said it. Sometimes I was like, yo, I'm not doing that today. I'm not. But today is the day it needs to be done.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if you don't have the mentality, you know what, it's no tomorrow, we got to do it today, then you'll just keep saying, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Yeah. And then the tomorrows become years and years and decades. And it's like, yo, no, I don't do that. Well, what happened? You know what I mean? So definitely that part of the game is scary. Now, you being a young lady that's so driven, so passionate about your work, passionate about your team, passionate about connecting these dots. To those individuals that's look on the outside looking in and say, hey, you make it look so easy, Bridget. Because everybody doesn't see the day-to-day. I don't see your day-to-day. All I see is we over here, we got this up. Then I see another flyer for this, I see another house, but the day-to-day, but she's really just, your average day is what?
It's definitely crazy, it depends.
Your average hours.
My hours of being awake, I guess, and working?
You're thinking when you sleep, I know that. You go to bed thinking, you wake up thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, for
But
sure.
those that's looking on the outside saying, Bridget, you make it look so good. How do you describe that to them?
Listen, it's not easy. I mean, it might look easy, but I still struggle. I'm a human being, you know. People see the strong side of me or the exterior, and then they totally forget, like, I still struggle. I still be aggravated. I might get annoyed, or I don't necessarily get mad as much necessarily when it comes to business. Unless I'm fighting for my clients in real estate, then I might get mad
Of
because
course.
I want them to get the house
And that's,
because,
yeah.
you know, I want them to get in. But I still struggle like everybody else. The only difference is I don't focus on my struggle.
Wow.
I focus on where I'm trying to be, or what's going well for me. You have to focus on the positive. If you don't focus on the positive, like, you're gonna attract more negative with the negative. And people don't realize that. That's another reason I can't really be around people who have a certain negativity or negative talk, because at the end of the day, you spreading all that negativity around, I'm about to, like, come with the Febreze, like, you know,
Yeah,
like,
because now it's on me.
cut it
It's
out.
like perfume. What's the name of that perfume? Oh, negativity.
Yeah, right. And I don't want it near me, so you're gonna have to keep that over there. And I don't want it to touch what I'm trying to do. So for me, I had to focus on the positive as much as possible, really.
Yeah, but you know what? You focusing on the positive goes to show me where your mentality is at. Because a lot of people mentality say, oh, I'm positive, I'm all for this. But the slightest thing takes them in a direction where it's like, yo, I thought you were so positive. And you're ranting, you're raving, you're angry, you're dealing with rage. Like, how you expect to accomplish these things with this mentality? I feel like when you're in that space of being anger, rage, frustration, fear, doubtful, you can't really be the best you.
You're right.
So if this is what you're giving me and you acting like a ignorant son of a bitch, then I don't really want to do that because I'm over here driving another type of way.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like being in a car with somebody that's just always swerving. Like, yo, you gonna stay in the lane? Because we trying to get to the next destination.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the reason why I asked you that question about it looks so easy, because I had somebody say to me, he said, yo, you know, the way you, sometimes, you know, I see you, whatever the conversation may be. He said, yo, but it just seemed like it's just so natural. I said, I said to him, the reason why you may think it's natural, but for me, it's just my life now.
Yeah.
I put my life into this now.
Yeah.
And they didn't understand it, like, your life. Like, yo, if I'm doing this, it's like a brand. It's my lifestyle now.
Yeah.
So it's not so much just easy. I've dedicated this brand and this lifestyle to where I want to go. So every day I'm waking up, I have to march to that tune because that's the tune that's going to get me to that next song on the CD. And I told him like that. He's like, yo, I just, you know, sometimes I just feel like, you know, we just get so caught up that we just try to be, what was it? I want to say exactly, we just try to be out here doing something. I said, that's the problem. Everybody wants to do something. But you have to put forth the effort to start doing something.
And that's the thing, the first step. And that's why when people see certain stuff that looks like it's easy, they don't know how hard it was for you to change to get to that point where you can do it and it look like that.
That's a lot.
So, you know, it may look easy for other people, or even looking at me, it might look easy, but you know, I had to fight blood, sweat, and tears, and definitely a whole lot of tears.
Plenty of tears, huh? Plenty of tears.
Tears, disappointments, setbacks, delays, you know, and it's just a part of life. But the thing is, you could either, one, let it knock you down, and you could hold on to it and grip onto it forever and let it crumble your world, or you can take that and build. So I just took it and build.
But you also took it and build because you have a different type of mentality. Your spirituality plays a big part. You refuse to lose. You refuse to be told no. Mm-hmm. You also believe in yourself. You know, I've spoken to individuals that really didn't even believe in themselves. And I'm like, how can you not believe what you're doing?
I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. I've been the angry person like you mentioned previously. I've been there. But you have to reprogram your mind, and especially entirely, because this is not something that you're taught in school. It's not
something you study, not something you read about.
It's definitely something that you got to do on your own. It's something that you have to do on your own and go within on your own. A lot of people don't want to go within. I had to go within several times to grow and elevate to where I want to be and to be the person I am now. I had to make a lot of mistakes. and
But you
do a lot of
wasn't
wrong
scared to
things.
fail, Bridget.
You're right.
A lot of people don't want to fail. Like, yo, I don't want you to see that I'm losing. Yo, like, I don't understand that mind state, though. Seriously, I don't want nobody to see that I'm losing. Yo, no one's just running around here winning.
You're right. But
I'm
that's
sorry.
People only see everybody winning on social media, so they think everybody's just only winning. They don't see the losses that you take behind the scenes. So that's why they have that fear. But you got to remember that, I hate to say, like, everything in this world's kind of fake, really. Like, you know what I mean? It's we're gonna fake
Already
everything.
set up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, don't expect what they're showing to be real. The movies ain't real. The shows ain't real. All of that's not real. What some of these artists are talking about is not real. So what are you scared to show your real self because they're scared to show their real self?
I believe it's a lack of confidence
Yeah,
and insecurity.
it's both. It's definitely both.
I mean, we all have our insecurities. Don't get me wrong. No,
Yeah.
let's please be clear. No one's running around here like, yo, we all have insecurities. But how do you allow your insecurities to take control?
No, I mean, I have in the past, but you
I
have to
believe we
learn.
all have.
You have to learn. You have to literally go within and, honestly, to me, it's addressing.
You keep saying going within. Keep saying going within. But a lot of people don't know what that inner person is in them to say, hey, you knew who Bridget was, to say, hey, Bridget, we got to remove this layer.
I didn't know until I did.
But you did. Eventually
Yes,
you did.
eventually.
That's what I'm saying. You wanted more.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really set themselves up to say, hey, what am I really doing? What is my calling? What is my truth?
Yeah.
Who am I? You know what I mean? As a young individual, I was young. We was all young, trying to figuring out who we are. Mm-hmm. At some point in time, it starts to go off. Like, okay, this might just be it.
Right.
But everybody don't know how to tap into that. Because I see a lot of individuals, and I know in dealing with We Are Jersey, you just like, yo, you just said it, you this dope artist, but what are you? And then it's like, it frustrates you, but reality, but they didn't really know they was a dope artist.
Yeah. They don't know, but the thing is, they don't take the time to fully sit with themselves in silence. I would even say meditate, because some people don't know how to meditate, which I get and I understand that. But really,
you into meditating and doing yoga?
I got my crystals on me. Like, I stay strapped with my crystals, okay?
Listen, I figured that, but I wasn't sure, so that's why I asked.
It's something that you have to try and get into. And people, they're just used to the fast, whatever they see on TV or whatever, And that's not going to always get you anywhere,
The microwave.
Yeah, you're going to be spinning in circles with it, And honestly, the way I look at it is, by getting to know your inner self and in understanding yourself and even understanding your traumas, understanding the things that you've been through and reflecting upon it from a different light, not from the light of like a victim and what was me, but like, what could I have done better? How can I improve? Like asking yourself the questions, the whys, the hows, and, like what, that you should be asking yourself. You have to ask that to yourself more often, because that's how people who don't reflect and don't go within, every single year they going through the same loop and staying stagnant. And if you truly want to elevate, it's going to show per year, because you're going to do the work.
Right.
But when you don't do the work, and then you eventually fall off, and then everybody can see it. But the thing is, that enlightenment, even if it's, I would say 10, 20, 30 minutes a day to reflect in that way, it's going to help.
I believe that's very important. I believe every individual needs to take at least 15 minutes of quiet time for themselves during the day. I'm a firm believer of that. I don't care if it's when you wake up. I don't care if it's before you go to bed. I don't care if it's the middle of the day. I believe you really need 15 to 20 minutes of just silence within yourself. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes you can really learn a lot in that little bit of time about who you are.
Oh, yeah.
If you're really serious.
Yeah.
And when I say do it, I want everybody to understand I'm not a life coach or anything of that nature, but I do it every day. And when I do it, I really try to, I strive to block everything out my mind for that 15 minutes. Like, I don't want to think about nothing. So when I go do it, I tell myself, thank you. I'm talking to God. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the peace of mind to receive you right now.
Yeah. Because that conversation is needed to be had You and God every single day.
You know what I mean? Because you're not going out here just doing it on your own.
Absolutely not.
Especially if you got a team around you. Your team, Jesus had disciples.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm not saying that with Jesus Christ or anybody like that, please. But I'm just saying, you know, we all need a circle, goes back to what we was talking about, but we also need that me time to reflect on who we are and what we're doing for today. Like I always say to myself each day, what's today's purpose?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when I close my night, before I lay down, I strive to say, well, what was today's accomplishments? Even if I just help somebody bring their growth, even whatever it was. I'm not looking for a big accomplishment because there's no such thing as a size. I'm not putting accomplishments in the size. Oh, you small, medium, large. Accomplishment is accomplishment.
Oh, yeah.
I wake up every day. That's the biggest accomplishment in the world. So without that, then I'm pointless. You know what I'm saying? So for you, striving, running, educating, teaching, because you're kind of like a little bit of a mom, per se. You know what I'm saying? You're like a foster mother. You know what I mean? Because you with the magazine, that's your baby.
Yeah.
And the people that you're bringing into that magazine, you're not just bringing anybody into your home. You want to make sure they polite, they're respectable, it's worth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of that mother, even though I don't know if you are a parent, but I'm just saying it still come as a woman, it's just that feel of, I want this to be the way it needs to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're dealing with different people every day, on all different ages, religions, colors,
Yeah.
ethnic groups, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I know, you know what I mean? Then you flip it over to the entertainment side. You're dealing with the attitudes, once again, I said the egos, the mentalities, the young ignorance, the this, the divas.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you know, that meditating and, you know, having that me time for Bridget is very important. You know what I mean? I'm gonna ask you something. What would you tell a young lady that's coming up that wants to be a part of something? What would you tell her? A young 16-year-old Bridget.
16-year-old me. If I could go back and talk to myself when I was 16, which is kind of funny to even think about because I knew Banks and some of my close friends that I still talk to today. I think the one thing that was missing for me the most was believing in myself. I didn't understand my power. Even though we did the homecomings and I had the whole school and the high school, like, you know, raising money for him, I didn't realize what I was doing was what I was doing. Like, for me, it just became instinct and tunnel vision just to do it. But in reality, is like that value I could have did on a bigger scale and started sooner versus having that hiatus from when me and my partner turning Jersey Turns Up, ENT, you know, into a thing, you know, and being able to help people. If I believed in myself more, I feel like I would create a different impact sooner, more frequent, and also on a different scale.
Okay. So for that young lady that's sitting back now in her bedroom striving to figure out, do I really go forward with this? I'm not getting the support that I need and the love maybe. I don't feel that everybody's behind me but has a dream. Would you tell them to continue to push forward?
I'll always probably want to tell people to follow their dream. Because if it's something that you feel deeply in your heart, it's something that you're probably meant to be doing. You wouldn't feel it for no reason.
Right.
Now, if you were doing it and you didn't feel anything and it's just for the look, then yeah, stop. It'll save everybody the time. You know what I mean? Because I know for me, like, I want to work with people who it's actually their dream. I don't want to work with people who are just like, oh, I want to look cool. I just want to be next to somebody just to be next to somebody because it sounds cool. I want to work with people who know, hey, this is my dream. I want to make an impact with my music. I want people to heal with it or whatever your purpose may be with your message. That's what I'd rather it be. I know not everybody's going to have that because music is for the enjoyment.
Right.
So I can understand that. But, you know, if you're coming to me and you're going to talk to me about it I want it to at least be your dream versus like,
Just a hobby.
yeah.
Now I noticed you've been doing a lot of pop-up shots, a lot of showcases. How do you, let's talk about the music a little bit from the time that you really got into it to where it's at now.
From starting We Are Jersey?
The music.
Okay.
The music. The energy of the music. Do you feel like the energy is not the same no more?
Oh, it's definitely changed since I've been active in 2014. It's changed a lot. Of course, also, Jersey Club and Jersey Drill, whatever. That is like somewhat fairly new through DJ J Heat, really, and some other popular people from Jersey. That whole thing changed a whole sector of the music that I would be engaging with.
Right. That's why I asked.
The lyrical aspect of the artists that I knew that was like a lot of more conscious rappers more so. That's shifted a little bit because they see what's happening in the mainstream artists world, where it's not valued as much, but it still is it's like a little twist, I'll say. And then from what I see, especially, I love R&B. I'm a huge fan of R&B, and R&B I feel like is elevating right now, depending on who you listen to. When it comes to music, the only mainstream music that I actually listen to maybe is like dancehall and Afro beats, maybe. And
Okay.
maybe Chris Brown, but that's like kind of a given. But I don't.
C Breezy. He
Yeah.
said it's a given.
It's a given. He can't go wrong with music. But like, I'm not listening to Drake. I'm not listening to Kendrick. I'm not listening to all that other stuff. My playlist is fully indie for the most part. So,
Okay.
People might say like, hey, this person sound like that person. This person sound like that person. But like, all right, but I don't listen to that person. I listen to the indie artist.
Right.
So I don't even know what the other person sound like. So people don't believe me when I say that, but it just don't resonate. A lot of mainstream music stopped resonating for me the deeper I got into We Are Jersey. I don't care about most of the stuff that they're talking about, but some of the stuff that they're talking about for these indie artists, of course it resonates because you're human just like me. We in New Jersey, so sometimes we talk about the same area code, but at the same time, you're talking about messages that are what we wish was on mainstream sometimes.
That's I never heard that in a while. Like you're very passionate about that, and I respect that. Now, for the indie artists that you deal with, listen to, do you really feel like, because I'm going to be honest, I feel like I call them, I'm still from the era of the backpack, so I'm going to say the backpack era, I feel like some of those are my best artists.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They still are in certain cases, the ones that are still making music, I'll say. A lot of the backpack artists that I knew from the beginning of We Are Jersey, they don't make music anymore. But
do you feel like they grew out of it?
Depends. It depends.
Because some people grow out of things.
That could happen, which is okay because as you grow, you're supposed to. But some of them, I don't even know. Like it's just gone with the wind, but there's a lot of new people who are coming out too, and there's some people who come back. Sometimes they come back. Some people be in and out.
Right.
But the thing is, I think everybody is meant to have a certain moment in time for themselves or their sound. So like, you just gotta continuously work and then find your placement. But the thing is, you have to be still taking action.
Right. You have to still put the groundwork in.
Yeah,
it's not just gonna just pop like microwave popcorn.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, the reason why I said that to you about you do all these showcases because I see that you're very passionate about the artist that's not really being seen.
Oh yeah.
You always putting that out on the blast, like yo, showcase. Like you're always at some location showcasing that new talent. You know what I mean? Always looking to break somebody new, bring somebody in. And sometimes, you can find yourself getting tired of that. But I see for you that it's so driven in you because you believe in it. Oh
yeah, absolutely. Some of these songs I hear from some of these indie artists, like if they actually sat down and made a plan,
right,
a marketing plan for themselves, I really truthfully think some of them would blow up and be very far, very far. And the thing is, it only takes one song to get to that point, which is, if you've been active in New Jersey, you've probably seen Groovy Jew, who recently made his Jersey Love, which is all over TikTok and everything.
Yeah.
But he came by the Pass the Aux last year for my birthday, I think, to that Pass the Aux event. And we dropped this song, and then everybody in the place, because we played it multiple times even after he left, and they were like, "Who is this? What is that? Oh, this song's fire! Like, who is this? This is R&B and Jersey Club together. Like, what is that?" And the thing is, now you see, like, this is over 6 months later. That song's everywhere. But he just kept pushing it, and he kept believing in himself.
And he knew what he had too.
That too on top of it.
You know what I mean? Also knowing what you have and running with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta know how to make those plays, you know.
And you gotta know when you're popping to stay, like, if you know that you're hot, like, stay in tune with it. You know what I'm saying? But I respect the fact that you're so dedicated to that crowd. Like, you're not striving to, do all this nonsense and hoopla dreams. It's more or less, it's dedication to the wolf pack. And let's bring the whole wolf pack with us. What you guys got coming up now as we close the year out?
Well, we got a Trap and Paint karaoke. It's gonna be actually the hip hop edition, so everybody can dress as their favorite era. That's gonna be in December.
December what? Let them know where at, the location.
December 16th, Rose City Studios. Then we come back the next day for the toy and coat giveaway drive. It's gonna be a little bit of a mixer, as well as there's gonna be vendors and holiday pictures. That's back at Rose City the next day. So Saturday and Sunday, 16th, 17th. I'll be probably a very tired woman, but
Okay. Nothing for the new year coming up?
No, honestly, I would just tell everybody, to cop the new issue, since our latest issue is available for pre-order right now. Probably when this drop, it might be available already. But Shakur Stevenson, Newark's own, he's a cover of our latest issue of We Are Jersey. So, if you need some motivation, you know where to find us.
Right. Now, I'm going to ask you this before we get out of here. When you're doing an artist, what gives them the cover? What says, okay, he gets the cover? Well, she gets the cover?
Merit, message, it's a mixture of a lot of things, really, Our most recent, I guess, artist as a cover would be Mappy, the violinist. She'd been viral doing a bunch of dancehall and Afrobeats, especially on Instagram and TikTok and all that. And for her, it was her message, coming to the United States to then sacrifice all that she had at home. And she actually lived in Jersey, border Jersey, New York. And she's doing all these videos, and people see her everywhere, but they don't realize, like, her story it was really tough for her. People just see the glamour and her looking beautiful, playing the violin, but the thing is more to her that led her to being as talented as she is right now. Right. So things like that we try to look into. It's more than just having a hit record.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. I appreciate the opportunity, Jersey Queen.
I appreciate you
for the opportunity to get blessed with your essence. Listen, before we get out of here, anything you want to let the culture know? Real estate, if they're interested, they can holler at you on the real estate. Let them know where to find you at on Instagram or any other outlets to get in contact. If they're serious, let's be clear, to be not just calling, to be looking at, be serious.
Absolutely. No, if you need anything with real estate, you want to buy, sell, rent, invest, just find me. And well, for We Are Jersey, I'm Jersey Queen 201. You can contact me for all of them. And then, the only advice I have for everybody is, shoot for the stars and go for what you want. Don't be scared to do that, because you can change your life tomorrow. Listen, you heard it first. Jersey Queen's in the building. Miss B. It's nothing more to say. It's a long time coming. I'm grateful to be sitting next to the Queen of Jersey. Yes, I'm giving her the Queen. It's the Queen. And you know who it is, the voice of the culture. We did another one. And God bless and good night. And love is love. We out of here. Thank you, Mom. Hey, anytime. I appreciate you. Thank you. Finally. Thank you so much.